Well, it looks like Jared had survived Bunzo the bunny. But I wonder what else is stalking around the factory for him. I'm sure he's not going to encounter anything else. It's just gonna be a smooth trip to the train, right? Well, let's get back to the story and find out. As Jared walked out towards the bridge collapsed, he slammed to the ground. He felt his ankle. It rolled and tumbled just like he had down the bridge. He took a second, his breath still strong and deep from the events that occurred above him. He needed to find a way out. The most obvious, another vent. With a big deep breath, he peered inside. The steel walls like the throat of a machine. He just hoped that he was climbing out of its mouth instead of down into the stomach. But he had no idea. He had lost where he was. Most of this factory was unknown to him. And this vent leading from musical memory was no different. The startling sound of perhaps another creature, a toy come alive crawling in the vents. This thought made him paranoid, worried what he'd encounter. Each corner he turned, his heart beated more. He reached an area that looked like a warehouse of some sort. Peering out, he saw no signs of danger. It was only a short drop down, he told himself. The shelves were lined with rejected products. Some of them he didn't even recognize. Some he did. The area was littered, completely covered like a blanket of broken toys. Looked like there was some sort of elevator he needed to activate. Well, figured he'd give this a shot. One thing that did stand out, though, was the toys with the blood on them. He'd seen them in the factory many times, but something about them was just uneasy. Unnerving. He understood what he needed to do. Getting power from the one machine, running over, he'd be able to power this crane with it. The distance was too far. Understanding how the system worked, he knew that he could maybe lift that Bronto toy or statue. He wasn't quite sure exactly what it was. As he dragged the large crane down the aisles, he was almost lost in thought by its simple yet quite elegant movement along the rail. He was mesmerized in a way. So focused, he didn't realize he had gone through all the aisles. He pulled the crane up and into place just as he had planned. She should be able to power it up, lift the Bronto out of the way, and move on. How to get the elevator to work? That was the next question. It wouldn't have been so obvious to be the big red button, is that? He could thank Ludwig for making simple designs for kids. So easy the employees could do it. Still, those unusual sounds, the thumping existing in the factory, still made him uneasy. With so many things that had chased him, tried to kill or eat him, he knew not but what was out there, if it was following him. It was time for Jared to adventure on, deeper into the factory. What secrets would it hold? Again, that paranoid feeling as he passed. Steam startling him did not help that feeling. As he found the stairs like a pathway to heaven, he hoped it would lead him up and out. And it did. Back to the start of musical memory, he had returned. And from there, back into the room, the game station, ready to play the next devious game.
Whoa, you did fantastic! Who gave you permission to be this smart? Mommy is super proud of you, but I'm sure she's already told you that herself. Our next game is Wacko-Wuggy. Head downstairs and have fun.
As the voice rolled, he noticed he could access the train. It was the code. The sound of the creaking door of the Wacko-Wuggy game opening. He hoped he wouldn't have to do that. How many combinations to this code could there be? He could just continually guess them until he got it right. He could try every single one. It would be safer. But what if that mommy long legs had seen him? He wouldn't be able to defend himself. Perhaps sometimes you just need to play along with the villain, their evil game. He was sure he'd have no trouble with Wacko-Wuggy. He always heard it was just like Whack-A-Mole. He always did well when the carnival was in town at Whack-A-Mole. This would be no different. As he approached the Wacko-Wuggy game, the area looked like an arena filled with sand, like a place in which gladiators would fight. Maybe trying the combinations in the train would have been a better option. Well, it seems that Jared survived this trip deeper into the factory. But now he's at the Wacko-Wuggy game. He thinks it's just like Whack-A-Mole. But imagine Whack-A-Mole, but the moles try and eat you. You'll be fine. Right? Hey, thanks for coming to watch the Poppy Playtime story series. As the story continues, make sure you hit that bell icon and subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be notified as soon as a new episode comes out. If you haven't already, make sure you leave us a like, and more importantly than anything, thank you for watching. I appreciate having you here, and I hope to see you next time.